Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm finally back from Graspop, and what a festival it was. Oh my god, so many good bands, but crappy weather, I can tell you. And I will show you some pictures here, show you how bad it was, because on day one, when we just entered the festival area, it was pouring, and the rain just did not stop, and Graspop turned into mud pop, basically. There was almost no grass left, it was just muddy as hell. And besides that, I thoroughly enjoyed this Graspop. There were a lot of good bands. I even went to some bands I actually did not know of beforehand, and I'm definitely adding them to my playlist from now on. So I'm just going to do a quick recap what I saw on each day. And on Friday, I went to Firewind, but that was kind of accidental, really, because I kind of wanted to go, but I was really tired, but I also had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom on the festival area itself instead of the camping area, because it's normally nice and quiet back there, and not many people are there, no line, so I went there. And then I thought, well, Firewind is playing anyway, so might as well go take a look. And they blew my mind. They were really good, and it was a long time since I actually really listened to Firewind, so it was good to see them live, and they really did a good job at that. But then one of my highlights of the entire festival played a little bit later, called Moonspell, and I will show a little clip here from their live concert. They did a really good job, although I must say sometimes with these festivals that they did not work with the vocals as much, because I have noticed that they really love their bass, which I can understand with metal and everything, but sometimes the bass is really overpowering and you can't really understand what they're singing. But even so, I'm happy that I know all their songs by just memory, so I could just sing and know what they're saying. But yeah, then after Moonspell we went to Disturbed, and like always the songs were phenomenal, even though they were kind of standing there like, is it over yet, is it over yet? It just didn't feel like they were really that into it. And then after we had Megadeth, which was awesome. It's always awesome to see Megadeth. It's just one of the best trash bands out there. And then another one of my highlights, I think this was my favorite concert of the entire festival, and that was Amon Amarth. I've loved the band for a really long time. I have all their albums. I just never really went to a live concert, and oh my god, it's probably one of the best live concerts I've ever seen. Like, they were so happy and jolly Vikings on the stage, and you know what? I can't really explain, I'll just show you a snippet of how they were on Graspop. So yeah, after that concert, like, I got all their albums. I might as well go ahead and order me some shirts and everything, and maybe some posters. Those guys are just awesome. And, of course, the end of the day was Black Sabbath, and it was probably the last time you could ever see Black Sabbath as a whole, because I believe this was their goodbye tour. So I was really happy that I was there, even though Ozzy Osbourne was a bit off with the singing, but he is getting older, of course, so you can understand why it's not as good as it used to be. But overall, they blew my mind. It was a great concert to see. Then on Saturday, there were two bands that I really didn't have on my list to go and see, but somehow I ended up there anyway. One is called Bliksem, which translates over to lightning in English. They were really good. They're a smaller band. And Municipal Waste, really good trash band. I loved it. And of course we have Pennywise. If you need a band to drink beers with your pals, then you have to go to Pennywise or even Dropkick Murphys, even though I didn't go to Dropkick Murphys this festival. And I'm kind of sad about it, but oh well, it was really crappy weather and everybody was so tired with the group that I went there. So some bands I skipped that were on my list. Then we had Testament, always funny, always good to watch. They are such great entertainers. And then of course, the godfathers of metal for me, Slayer. And this is one of the only bands that I actually went to record myself. The quality isn't that good, but I'll show you a little piece of Slayer because, come on, it's Slayer. And after Slayer, which was a great performance, I was so tired though, but we have two main stages on Graspop, main stage 1 and main stage 2, and they're right next to each other. So I was standing at main stage 1 waiting for Volbeat, but Nightwish started playing on main stage 2, and I actually was really close to them, which I liked. And I'm not the biggest fan anymore of Nightwish, but I was happy I was there. They put on an amazing performance, and you gotta support the Dutch, man. Like, the band is not really Dutch, but the vocalist is, so you have to support them, being Dutch myself, and they really put something great up there. And I wish I had some footage of Volbeat, but I do have some footage that I could find of Nightwish, so I'll show you a little bit of that as well. But what I do have of Volbeat, by the way, now that Nightwish is out of the way, I managed to make some pretty decent looking, pictures, so I'll show them here right now. And I don't know, they had an hour and a half to play, and they played some new songs from their new album and a lot of old songs, but every song is just really great. Like, it makes you... They have some sadder songs, but most of the songs really make you cheer up and make you feel happy, and I like it. And let's move on to Sunday, because Sunday was the slowest, really, of all the days, because we were tired. We went to bring all of our stuff back to the car and then come back to the festival to see some bands. And I actually only saw 4 bands on that day, but there was one really big name on there, and I wish I had some good pictures of them, but some of them are a bit blurry. But I went to Tremonti first. It wasn't really on my list, but I was there because Anthrax would play on the same stage. So I waited there for Anthrax, and Anthrax really put on an amazing performance. The audio was a lot better that day for some reason on the main stages, because you could really hear the vocals better. And after Anthrax, on main stage 2, there was Trivium, so I kind of saw that from the side. It wasn't really on my list, but after Trivium, this was the band that packed up the last day of Graspop, because on that day I think there were 4 times as many people on Graspop as on day 1 and day 2, just because they wanted to see Iron Maiden. And the year before that, I saw Iron Maiden as well on Graspop, or was it the year before that even? But yeah, Dickens really didn't feel like play or singing that day, so I kind of put him on the blacklist for my live bands, but they put on the best performance I've ever seen from Iron Maiden. And Eddie was there, of course, and if you don't know who Eddie is, that's the mascot of Iron Maiden. And every time I see him, I just get a big smile on my face, because who doesn't love Eddie? You know, Eddie's Eddie, you gotta love it. And although I couldn't really, the thing that was kind of a down point for me with Iron Maiden, and it was the only down point, because I managed to push myself forward so I could be more in front, so I could see it a lot better. But at first I started off a little bit on the side, and they always have their props and their stage set, so you can't really see them if you're on the side, you know. But in the end, they had a 2-hour concert, and I think it was only like 15 minutes that I really couldn't see the band that much, and I had to watch it from the screens on the side. And I wish I had some footage. I don't even have that many pictures, but goddamn, if they come to Holland, I don't care how much it is. Like, normally I think a ticket for Iron Maiden goes for around 150 euros, if not more. I will still go. They were so good. And that was kind of my Graspop of this year. It was muddy. It was cold. My feet hurt as hell. I've never felt that kind of pain in my life. That's how much they hurt. I don't know how that happened. I think it was the rain boots that I was wearing because of the mud or something. But wow, even painkillers didn't help at that point. But yeah, it was a typical Graspop. You woke up, you had your first energy, your coffee, and then you went to the beer, you went to the festival, had some fun, dance, sing, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I can't wait for next Graspop, and I hope they have an even better lineup then. But this was my update, really, about my weekend at Graspop. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I think it's about time that I start recording some gameplay videos again. So see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.